Hello, wild ones. This is a speed run of last week's video of me doing some intuitive painting to start my studio day. I love to just put up a big piece of paper and work pretty dang quickly to create a painting. This one was, I liked it. I like it. It wasn't super duper successful. And I knew the back of it already had another intuitive mark making session from a class I taught. So here's the side I worked on last week. Here's the side I did at the previous class. And I'm gonna do something unthinkable and just rip it up and make a book from it. So this is how I'm going to finish my big mark making piece from my mark making class and from my intuitive painting session last week. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed and are watching this content and commenting. It is so important to my channel that I have interaction. If you have somebody who might like this, please send it to a friend. It has been my honor to work on this channel, and it's changed my studio practice, because turning on the video camera for my working sessions is an interesting thing, but also so cool. I just love being able to bring you this kind of content. So this piece is getting ready to be folded. Say goodbye to it as its current form, and then hello to it as a book form. I love having irregular journals, and I especially I have this deep-seated love for handmade journals. I worked in sketchbooks for many, many years and now create my own sketchbooks. And I find that I just have so much more connection with the book itself and the work if I just end up making it, even from this is a roll of like craft, or it probably is let me think. It's a roll of painting drop cloth from the hardware store, because it's pretty thick. And I really love the look of brown craft paper. I love having the medium value already there and then working dark and light on it so that you can have you can go both directions with it, especially when you're trying to do some intuitive mark making. It really forces you out of that comfort zone of a white piece of paper. I think I like this as the center, and I think I'm going to end up switching the outside, but I do like that as the center fold. I think that little bit of blue around those kind of fig shape pieces is the best work in this piece so far. Although I get really excited when I see another page come together, because the interesting part when you're doing this kind of work, you're folding it together and you kind of don't know what you're going to get, because I wasn't I wasn't really specific at all on how I was cutting it. I just wanted it in half, each piece in half. So I didn't even really think about the direction of the halves. I wanted it to just come together how it was going to come together. And I really have found that I like torn edges more than I like cut edges. So I'm just going in and pulling out those edges and making sure they're all torn. I'll do that throughout the book, and then I save those little bits because I'm going to use those later in this book. I'm going to do some collage almost directly. Actually, before I even bind the book, I'm going to collage some in it so that I can kind of finish off some pages, because having the pages that have nothing on them and the pages that have a ton on them, I kind of want to even that out. Ooh, I like this page. And there's that one clean page. There's another clean page. and it's starting to look more like a book. There's still a lot of work to do, so I'm going to go up and clean up edges. I'm going to rearrange the pages a couple more times. That's the nice part about creating your own journal, especially a journal from something that already has a lot of life to it. I think it's so interesting to take a piece that probably would just languish in my studio and creating a piece that really I want to work in. And I am so excited to work in this book. I think it's going to be very fun to play in. And this texture of paper, it's kind of similar to a paper bag. It was just a flat roll. It's something I had in my garage, so I just pulled it out for class to use. And I really, really love the feel of it. It's got that thickness that nothing's going to go through it, but it's got that super thinness that it just makes it feel really comfortable in your hand. So I use that little crystal just to hold down the book when I'm not futzing with it. It's what keeps coming on and off the top of the thing. And I'm going to use this big double stick tape. I'm right at the end of a roll, so I'm trying to use it up so I can switch that roll out. This is a Scotch product, but a little tiny double back taper would work too. I end up when I want to work in flow like this, I end up grabbing whatever tool is at hand. But right now I know I'm trying to use stuff up, so I know that needs to get changed over. So I wanted to use the last little bit of that roll. I have a couple glue sticks, which I don't really use in my studio practice at all, but I have a couple that are just drying up, so I wanted to use those up. I'm kind of temporarily getting these in here. When I go back to really work in this book, I will definitely add some glue to the parts that are coming up because I know they will. So there's the glue stick that I'm trying to also use up. I think it's fun to put stuff on my table that need to get used. I love that part of the studio practice of I'd rather use it than let it dry in its little tube. I was told at one of the classes that one of my mark making tools is drying up. So I've been thinking about how to get that onto some paper soon. It will not be beautiful because it'll be marked and not marked because it is kind of a dying mark making tool, but I would rather use up what's there than let it just die a slow death. So, and the slow death is staying in storage in the studio. I strongly encourage everybody to get out those bones, the things that you tried once and you're like, oh, I don't know if I like this, and just put it in the back of the bin and just use it up. Like, have a play, have an intuitive painting session where you only use things you don't like. You never know what you'll get. And I'm not saying you're going to like that product anymore, but it will get used rather than just stored till it dies and then you get mad at yourself when it's dried out and you're throwing it in the bin. So that's my approach to using up and making sure the art is happening, not just being talked about. So I love that I had a lot of offcuts of this piece, so I have a lot of little bits to work with. So I'm just going in and collaging with those little bits. You don't have to keep them just straight. This is obviously brown on brown, and I think I'm going to grab a mark making tool. I'm going to grab a mark making tool and just quickly add some kind of striation lines to these torn pieces. And I literally grabbed the pen that was on the table and just threw some on. I know that pen doesn't move around at all with glue, which is nice. And I just wanted to give it a little bit of mark making and maybe a texture and type of mark that isn't anywhere else in the book, because it'll give my brain a jumping off point when I come to this page in the future. You can tell that glue stick is on its last leg. It's got those blobbies. Oof, get it done, girl. You got this. So that one's in. It really is not very visible from the lighting here, but it looks really cool on the page, and it's subtle, and I am known for not being subtle, so having some subtle notes or moments in the book really encourages that thought in my brain for that's not a word, for less, maybe more calm approach to mark making. So I'm excited for that page to come up as I work. And I'm also, because I love a good deadline, I'm also working right before I'm heading out on a friend date with a friend where we bring our art journals and have dinner together and talk about our lives, but also do some journaling together. So I'm hoping I can bring this book with me on this date day that is happening pretty darn quickly. So I'm trying to work speedily, but with thought. And I think it's like I needed a little bit more pieces of paper, so I just went in and like made those pages tighter. I don't know why I didn't do this tear earlier in the process. As I was editing, I was watching it going, why are you not cutting down that page goal? That page is bigger than all the other pages goal. Come on, cut it down. And then all of a sudden I do it at the very end. So I just needed to do it when I was going to do it. It's interesting doing these voiceovers, because it's like you're watching yourself make decisions and you're like, why didn't you make that? I saw that decision 10 minutes ago. But it's really interesting kind of using this as a tool to write words about what is happening in front of you, but also what is inspiring me in the moment. I just noticed, whoa, that texture is better than the front texture. I'm going to switch the side of this before I hit it with a glue stick. Into those little intuition moments, I don't know when I'm doing them. I can't tell you why I'm choosing what I'm choosing when I'm choosing it. But now that I've had some like clarity and some visual evidence of what I'm working on, it's really interesting. Even if you're not going to post on YouTube or not going to host your own channel, to turn on a video while you're working and then just watch it for your own edification, for your own understanding of what's happening. I'm going to use a book binding wedge that my girlfriend Darcy made me. Thank you, Darcy. To punch 3 holes, a pamphlet 3-hole stitch. They're all, if you need a good video on that, you can tell me, or there's a lot online too. I'm using this all to just make those holes a little bit bigger, and I'm working into this V cut out piece of wood, and I'll take and bind that with some wax thread. I turn off the video for that. Now I'm out at dinner with my girlfriend, and she very thankfully did a little bit of video. I'm just taking some Caran d'Ache crayons and adding some other colors. I kind of looked at that for the front page that had a little bit more color than the rest of it, and only picked up colors that were in the rest of that book. So I'm just adding a little bit of water to melt out some color, but really starting to change the book with some textures and just play. The best part about having a friend with you is you really aren't thinking about what you're doing. So here is the last flip through of where I've gotten the book so far. I added quite a bit of mark making to a few of the pages, but not all of them. I just added a little bit of, I kind of like to take the collage pieces and give them a little home or an outline to really show them off. I love that the swipe of yellow at the top looks kind of like a road. This page is by far my favorite so far. I just really like it. And I added a little bit more textures to it. I don't think I added much to this page. I think I added just a little bit of black pen around the edges. This one I just edged. And yeah, it was a super fun project. I hope you like this. Like and subscribe. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, and take care of the earth.